What up, guys? Coach Joe here, Coach Silas. We are leading into our Kettlebell Challenge of the Week this week, which is going to focus on the Kettlebell Snatch. So today, we're going to dive into a little bit of technique focus with it. Tomorrow, a little bit more. And then Wednesday, we'll unveil the magical Kettlebell Challenge of the Week for you. So today, what I want to talk about is two variations of the Kettlebell Snatch. And there's actually another one, but we're not going to touch on that today. One we call a hip dominant variation, and one we call a quad dominant variation. The quad dominant is a little more focused on just overall fitness, general physical preparation is what we would call that. Think absorbing forces when you land from a jump or stepping off of a curb, things like that. The hip dominant one focuses more on posterior chain or backside development and then maintaining a ton of tension through that core. So neither is wrong, neither is right. They're actually both are right, neither are wrong. So we're just going to review those real quick and talk about them for you. So Silas is going to start with the quad dominant version of the kettlebell snatch. So generally, we're going to start this from a hang position. So he's going to bend his knees and drop and then explode up. So we'll just get him flowing through this a little bit. And the key thing I want you to notice on this is the way his chest stays up and the fact that the kettlebell stays between his knees, but it's a vertical motion. So let's get you turned sideways before the next one. On the quad dominant kettlebell snatch, there's a lot more movement from the knees. Still getting movement from the hips, but a lot more from the knees. And then notice that kettlebell goes pretty much straight up the front of his body, whether it's going continuously or whether he's taking his time coming down to the rack position, whatever it might be. But this is the quad dominant version. It mimics a barbell snatch a little bit more than the hip dominant version does. So when we get to the Kettlebell Challenge of the Week on Wednesday, you can do it that way, or you can do the hip dominant version. So this looks more like a kettlebell swing, and you would start this out in front of you, drop down, lock down, hike, and then explode up. So same thing. And on this, usually people are going to get going continuously. They're going to bring it right back down. But notice on this one, there's a similar amount of knee bending, but a lot more of the hips going back. And that kettlebell staying as tight to his groin area as he can keep it to minimize forces on his lower back. But otherwise, he's still going to bring it up relatively straight up the front of the body. It might get away from him a little bit more, but he's breaking that elbow and then punching through the bell at the top. So that one involves, let's see one more time, you can watch Silas's butt go back and then go forward as he explodes up. So one focuses a little bit more here, one focuses a little bit more here, one focuses more on stiffness, and one focuses more on force, acceleration, and absorption, as well as deceleration. Both are good depending on the person that we're working with. We go through different variations. You can choose which one you use for our Kettlebell Challenge on Wednesday. If you got any questions, throw them in the comments below. Otherwise, have an awesome week.